Good morning, everybody. So we will continue with the next set of examples related to the equations of motions and motions under gravity. Okay. So the first example for the day is a burglar car. What is a burglar car? A thief's car. Okay. A burglar car starts with an acceleration of 2 meters per second. So burglar's car starts with an acceleration of 2 meters per second square. A police van comes after 10 seconds. So he's coming after 10 seconds. This is some time to us, right? A police van comes after 10 seconds and it continues to chase the burglar's car with an uniform velocity. With a uniform velocity, okay, of uniform velocity of 40 meters per second, right? Find the time taken by the police van. Now, time taken by the police van, so TP I will write, to to overtake the burglar's car is the question. Okay, so there is a burglar's car which is moving with acceleration 2 meters per second, and after 10 seconds, a police van starts to chase them with a uniform velocity of 40 meters per second, and we have to find the time taken by the police van to overtake the burglar car. Right now, how do we proceed with this? Give me hints, solutions from your side. Let's see. So we have data with us, that is acceleration is 2 meters per second square. This is of the burglar car. Then we have a time which is 10 seconds of the police van, after 10 seconds basically, not of police van. And we have this uniform velocity of 40 meters per second. So this would be his initial velocity of 40 meters per second. Uniform velocity initially 40 meters per second. Okay. So how do we begin? Anybody wants to try?
First, we should find the distance between police car and thief van.
Great. We have to find the distance between the police van and the burglar car, right? So what we will do, we'll start up with the distance. We have to assume some things now, like how we had studied about basic idealization. Without assumption, we won't be able to get any solution. So we'll start with the assumption that the distance traveled by the police van in t seconds. Now say we know that the distance traveled by the police van, okay, in say t seconds. The distance we do not know how much, so let it be just the distance or s, in t seconds will be equal to the distance traveled by the burglar car in how many seconds, tell me? By the burglar car in t plus 10 seconds. Okay, so there are two distances. This fellow has started moving already, burglar's car, he has started moving, right? And then after t as 10 seconds, the police van comes and joins, right? So then this fellow also is moving, police van. So now the distance traveled by the police van, total distance, okay, by the police van in say we are taking t seconds for this distance to be covered. So burglar's distance is how much? T plus this 10 seconds, he came after 10 seconds, no? So this distance to be covered would be in t plus 10 seconds. Now you can always interchange and write also. If you write here the distance traveled by the burglar car as t seconds, in t seconds, then you can write here by the police van as t minus 10. Okay, both of them would be right. If somebody wants to try ahead with that, no issues. Both of them would be right only. So in t plus 10 seconds. Okay, so we'll assume that t be the time taken. Let t be the time taken by police van. So we are assuming that the t is the time taken by the police van to overtake the burglar's car. Okay. Therefore, when I say they have given us that the uniform velocity of police van is how much? U equal to 40 meters per second. Using the condition s equal to ut plus half at square, we can go ahead with that, right? So we have the equation of motion s equal to ut plus half at square, a generalized equation of the distance traveled, right? Therefore, when I say uniform velocity, what happens to acceleration?
0.
0.
0. So as uniform velocity, therefore acceleration is becoming 0. So s equal to ut only, because half at square is going to get cancelled. Is this is 0. So I have one condition, that is s equal to ut. In this, let us substitute s equal to u is 40 into t. This is our equation 1. Okay, so we have got one of the condition. This is for what? This is for this, what we have calculated is for police van, because 40 meter per second is the speed of the police van. So we got one of the conditions here. Now for burglar's car. Okay, so we have to again write an equation for distance for burglar's car. So when we are doing for burglar's car, his t is going to be t plus 10 seconds. We are aware of that, right? Because extra. And u becomes 0, and we have an acceleration of 2 meters per second square. So we have to substitute that, right? So in the condition s equal to ut plus half at square. So u becomes 0. So I am ending with s equal to half at square. Okay. So substitute s equal to half, a is 2, and t would be t plus 10 the whole square. Correct? This is your equation 2. It's not visible. This is your equation 2. Now equation 1 and equation 2 are both for distance traveled, s only. So I have to equate both of these, right? So let us equate both. So one was 40t, s equal to 40t. Another one was this half 80 square. So these two go, only t plus 10 the whole square is remaining. So t plus 10 the whole square. From this I have to get the value of t. So this remains 40t. This is going to be a plus b the whole square. So t square plus 100 plus 2 into t into 10. So 20t, right? Solve this equation. So 40 comes over here. This becomes minus t. So t square plus 100 minus 20t equal to 0. Solve this and get me the value of t, please. I hope you know to calculate this in the calculator.
10 and
Directly,
1.
you're getting t equal to 10 and 1. Which one would be the right one? 10. So t would be 10 seconds. Okay, so t would be 10 seconds. We started with the assumption, no, the distance traveled by both, right? And when we are talking of the distance traveled by the police van and the burglar's car, we had one data, which is the police van came after 10 seconds. So that t, when we were substituting, if I'm taking police van as t, right, here I will put as burglar's car as t minus 10, or the present case I took the police van to be t plus 10 and burglar to be t. So you can go ahead with any combination, you will get the same answer. Okay, so this is also one of the favorite numericals of the examiners, the burglar's car and the police van. Generally, you must have noticed even in your PUC, a general kind of a question which appears again and again. Something similar. Next example. There are two cars P and Q which accelerate from a standing start. Okay, so standing start, they accelerate from a standing start. The cars are P and Q, right? The acceleration of P is 1.3. So I'll write AP, acceleration of P is 1.3 meters per second square, and the acceleration of Q, AQ, is 1.6 meter per second square. They've given us the acceleration. If Q was originally 6 meters behind P, so there are P and Q, say we are starting P, and then Q is 6 meters behind P. Okay, this is the starting point of P. This is the starting point of Q. So Q is 6 meters behind P. Okay, from the diagram we will take it later. How long it takes to overtake the P value, right? So time he's asking us. How long is Q going to take to overtake the P car, right? So this is the question, right? Now, previously how we did know, it is on the same lines. So, what do you understand when I say it is a standing start? Two cars P and Q accelerate from a standing start. What is the mean? What it is trying to tell you there? Any guesses? Standing start. Standing still.
U is equal to 0.
Yes. U equal to 0. Solution. Okay. So standing start tells me that the initial velocity of theirs or both of them is going to be 0. Initial velocity is 0. And then apart from that, they have given us both the acceleration of vehicle A and acceleration of vehicle P and acceleration of vehicle Q. Okay. So AP and AQ. Right. So we want to find the time T. So let us start with assumption of T only. So let T be the time taken by car Q. Okay. So let T be the time taken by car Q to overtake P. We start with this. Okay. To overtake P. Now the distance traveled by Q would be how much? Therefore, the distance traveled by Q is how much? Any guesses? Say P is traveling for S. Okay. Now to go for me to overtake P means at this junction. So what is the total distance traveled by Q?
S plus 6.
S plus 6. Right? So we want to find the time when it is overtaking. This is also in motion. So if this has traveled for a distance S, Q should travel a distance of S plus 6 to overtake P. So we know the distances. So distance of P is going to be S, distance of Q is going to be S plus 6. So let us do simultaneously. Say for car P and this is for car Q. Okay, parallel we will do. So when we are doing for car P with U equal to 0 and acceleration is equal to 1.3 meter per second square. Okay, acceleration given. So equation is S equal to ut plus half at square. Here S will remain as S, U is 0, right? S equal to 0 plus half, A is 1.3, right? Into t square. So what is this now? 1.3 divided by 2 matlab it is going to be 0.65. So S equal to 0.65 times of t square. I will get this condition. Correct? I've simply substituted, nothing done much. Now next, for car Q, again U is 0 because it is starting from the standing start and acceleration is 1.6 meter per second square. So S equal to ut plus half at square. I have to substitute here. Here S I will substitute as S plus 6 because car Q takes a distance as S plus 6 equal to, this is 0 plus half of 1.6 into t square, a t square, right? So this will be S plus 6 only. Here it is going to become half of that is 1.3 times of t square, or you can interchange, right? So now this I have to make use these two equations and get the value of S. Can you get me the value of S? Solve, let's see. Sorry, not 1.3, 1.6, half of that is 0.8. I was thinking what went wrong. Simply substitute. Both are S. I mean, both are in terms of t square and S plus 6. So how do I make use of this? So here get the value of S. S becomes equal to 0.8 times t square minus 6. Correct? Use this equation here now. So 0.8 times t square minus 6 becomes equal to 0.65 times of t square. Both of them together. Solve for this equation. 0.8 t square minus 0.65 t square minus 6 equal to 0. So 0.8 minus 0.65, how much? Get me the value of t. 0.15 t square minus 6 equal to 0, or t square would be 6 divided by 0.15. From there, get the value of t. I am getting a value of 6.32 seconds. Check. What are you getting? Anybody getting this value?
$6.324.
Correct, correct. Yes, some are in the chat box, 6.32. Yes. So solving this two, this is also s equal to something, this is also s equal to something. So equate these two equations, simple equation, it is not even quadratic. Both are t square. So one minus the other and one constant value you're getting. You solve this, you will get. So mechanics is filled with such mathematics, okay? There's no sine, cos, tan and trigonometry or cos of 2 theta and all coming. Simple mathematics is what is required. If you are able to do the simple mathematics, you will score out of out, right? So this is one more kind of example wherein using the equations of motion, we have to solve, right? Any doubts with this? Any doubts? Yes, no, no, you can even type it in the chat box. I'll be happy. If yes, please let me know. Okay. I had asked you to go, derivation for equations of motion. But then I think I'll only do it because many a times in the question paper they have asked. Okay, so we'll just derive the equations of motion. The three equations, no? The derivations are important because it has been asked 2-3 times in the question paper for around 8 marks. So we have to derive. So let's see how it goes, right? So now we know that u is going to be the initial velocity, v is the final velocity, and t is the time elapsed or time taken, anything you can call it. Sorry. Okay, t is going to be the time elapsed. Now, when we start with the equations of motion, first condition is motion with uniform acceleration. Okay, when I talk of motion with uniform acceleration, that means I am talking of acceleration here. So I have to write the equation for A in terms of what? The definition of acceleration is what? Rate of change of
Velocity.
velocity. Rate of change of velocity, meaning dv by dt is your acceleration. And I'm writing the first equation with respect to the motion with uniform acceleration. So acceleration, let us define, that is the rate of change of velocity with respect to time. Cross multiply. A into dt will be equal to dv. Right? A goes, dt goes on top and dv comes at the other side. Now, if I want to remove this differential condition, if I want to take off the differential, what we do to the equation? We have to integrate it with the limits. If I integrate with limits this term, then this differential equation will go, d will go, right? So let us do that. So I have to integrate now a into dt and integration of dv. So when I'm integrating, dt means it is the differential equation or it is with respect to time, d with t. So time would be what? Time could start with 0 and end with some time t when I want to write the their limits. And when we are writing for the velocities limits, the velocity would be initially it is u, later it goes to v. So velocity only two chances of limits, that is u to v, and time would be from 0 to t. Now you have to solve for this, right? So a is a constant, comes out, dt's integration would become t, 0 to t. And here there is no constant. dv integration becomes v, u to v. When I open this bracket, 0 and t, so this becomes at and this becomes v minus u. Therefore, I get a condition which is v equal to, I'll send u this side, u plus at. This is your first equation of motion, right? With what it starts? It starts with your definition of acceleration, that is rate of change of velocity with respect to time. Cross multiply, you put the limits for t, it is 0 to t. For v, it is going to be initial velocity to the final velocity. You will get the equation, right? So this is for the first equation, that is v equal to u plus at. Then comes second. Let us derive for distance. If I want to find the equation for distance traveled. Right. So we know that velocity is what? Rate of change of what is velocity?
Rate of change of displacement.
Displacement with respect to time. dx by dt. Correct? Rate of change of displacement with respect to time is your velocity. I want here distance or displacement. That's why I'm taking this rate of changes. Initially, I wanted acceleration and velocity together, so we took a equal to dv by dt. Now this also dx will be equal to v into dt. Correct? Dx, this cross multiply v into dt. But I know that, or we know that v is what? V value is u plus at. Let us substitute that. Okay. Put in equation 1. So this is our equation 1. I'll put v equal to u plus at here. So dx will be equal to u plus at into dt. Correct? I substituted for v. Right? Now this equation, I have to remove this differentiation. So to remove, I have to integrate along with their limits. So when I put the integration sign, this is dx, integration of u plus at into dt. So x means it is distance. So distance would be starting point is 0, final distance would be s when I'm putting the limits. So x dx stands for your displacement, rate of change of displacement. No? So initially it would be 0 and final maximum value it would reach a value of s. And coming to this, I want for t. dt means I want it for time with respect to time. So time initially is 0, final time would be t. So limits would be 0 to s and 0 to t. When I differentiate this, dx becomes x, which is 0 to s, and this one that I'm doing, it becomes ut plus this becomes t square, no? So a t square by 2, t square by 2 with 0 to t as your limits. When I apply the limits 0 and s, so s will be there over here, s equal to this becomes ut plus half at square. So we get the second equation of motion, that is s equal to ut plus half at square from where? From velocity equal to dx by dt condition, that is rate of change of displacement, and substitute for v over here as u plus at, put the limits, and you get the second equation of motion, that is s equal to ut plus half at square. Right? I hope you all are understanding. You all have done this also in your PUC, I suppose. Next, third equation. Third equation, that is v square minus u square. It is a general equation, nothing like I want to do it for velocity only or time only, right? So there we will use both the equations. That is, we know that acceleration is dv by dt, that is rate of change of velocity with respect to time, and velocity in turn is nothing but dx by dt. Both equations I will make use of. Right? Now, so from here, if I take a ratio of a by v, right, take a ratio of a by v, which is going to be dv by dt, a is dv by dt, divided by this, meaning it is dt by dx, divided by, when I do, it is going to be dt by dx. So dt will get cancelled, and a by v, I'm left up with dv by dx. Right? I've simply taken the ratio of a by v. Right? So we get this equation. From here, I'll write a equal to, or take a and dx together, v and dv together, because velocity goes ahead with the rate of change of velocity. So a into dx will be equal to v into dv. Right? To this, we have to put the limits now. I want to take off the differential signs or the differential equations. So a into dx, or integration of a into dx and integration of v into dv. So what are the limits? Dx means it is with respect to distance or displacement. So 0 to s, and v is velocity. So this becomes u to v. initial velocity to final velocity. When I open or when I integrate these two, what are the values going to be? A is a constant. Dx will have its own term coming as x with 0 to s, right? And velocity becomes v square by 2 with your limits u to v, right? So when I substitute here, now this becomes as, right? Which is going to be equal to, when I substitute over here, I'll take half outside because it's a constant. V square remains. V square with respect to your limits u to v become v square minus u square. So send this to this side. So you will have a condition v square minus u square equal to 2as. 2 goes to the LHS side, and this is your third equation of motion, that is v square minus u square equal to 2as. Here, the starting you have to remember, I'm using both a and v, that is acceleration and velocity, dv by dt and dx by dt, and take a ratio of a by v, dt goes, and then you simply cross multiply and integrate them. You know the limits. Whenever dx comes, your limits would be 0 to s. Whenever dv comes, your limits are going to be initial velocity to final velocity. If you have a t coming into picture, limits are 0 to t, right? Based on this, these are the three equations of motions. This has been asked for 8 marks and 10 marks in your final examinations. In 2 or 3 times, this has been repeated. So it is better you are perfect with the derivation of this. Okay, any doubt with that? Yes, no? No doubts? I need you to reply.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do we have mechanical students here? Are there mechanical students in your class? No. Nobody's answering, so I assume it is no. Civil are there, no? You can put it on the chat box if you're not able to unmute and answer. Do we have civil candidates in the class? No answer. Yes. Yes. Okay. We have. You have mechanical also. How many mechanical people? Somebody answer. Let me see. Thank you, Shifa. Make students. Very bad attitude. Huh? Students have got. Me, Prathmesh. Okay. Okay. At least he replied on the chat box. Why I asked is, other branches also, mechanics is important. I don't say no. Everywhere in your throughout your engineering and your MTech, you will have mechanics coming into picture. But for your civil and mechanical engineering, if you don't understand mechanics, from your third semester of civil to your 8th semester of civil, or same with mechanical, there are subjects like mechanics of materials, strength of materials, analysis of determinate structures, analysis of indeterminate structures. These all have a foundation in mechanics. If you've not understood here, you will not understand there. Okay, so I want these students who are there from civil and mechanical especially to be attentive, focused, and solve what is told. Third semester, nobody is going to teach you this again and start. They will tell this comes from mechanics and obviously, because assuming you have learned it now. So please see that you are sitting with well equipped with your calculators, pens, etc. And whenever asked to answer, please answer, or else you will be at loss. Clear? Next, I'll start another set of numerical. You know this VT graph? What is VT graph? It's called as VT graph only, no? You have you put up a diagram which is going to be time versus velocity. Yes, do you know? The vehicle starts, then it is constant, then it goes down, something like this. Are you aware of this? This is called VT graph, or what? What is it called?
Yes, ma'am.
VT graph, no? So we have set of next examples which is coming with respect to this VT graph. You have done it. That doesn't mean I'll not teach. I will still teach basics also, but this is something which you have done in your PUC. We didn't have it when I was doing PUC. Right? Third example for the day. So when I'm drawing a VT graph, velocity versus the time graph, it is very important that each and every word of the question means something. Okay, so I'll read out the question, and whatever is important, I will make a note also of that from the question. Right? A vehicle starts from rest. You want to note it down, Shifa? Okay. A vehicle starts from rest. So if you want, even I'll write it. Vehicle starts from rest. So we know that it is starting from rest means u is equal to 0 here, right? Is uniformly accelerated. It is then is uniformly accelerated, okay, during the first 250 meters. During the first 250 meters, meaning first distance, first set of distances S1 is 250 meters, where the vehicle starts with a u equal to 0 and then it is uniformly accelerated. Okay, during the first 250 meters of its run, after which, okay, after which it runs the next 750 meters. It runs the next 750 meters at uniform speed acquired. At uniform speed acquired. So it has already reached from 0 to some speed and then it achieved some speed. So with that uniform speed, it travels for next 750 meters. Okay. It is then brought to rest. It is then brought to rest. Okay. It is then brought to rest in 60 seconds. Then brought to rest in 60 seconds. Right? Under uniform retardation. Under uniform retardation. Fine. If the time of the entire journey is 300 seconds, okay. If the time of entire journey is 300 seconds, okay. Find the acceleration with which the vehicle started. Find acceleration with which vehicle started, okay, and retardation with which it stopped, and the deceleration I'll say here. Okay, it is understood. And the deceleration. Just trying to cut short the question because it's very lengthy also. See, a vehicle starts from rest, is uniformly accelerated during the first 250 meters. So first distance is 250 meters of its run, after which it runs the next 750 meters at uniform speed. So next distance is 750 meters and we know the speed is uniform. It is then brought to rest. So after that, they are going to apply brakes and it is brought to rest in 60 seconds. Time is given over here. First time, second time is not given. Third time is given. Under uniform retardation. So automatically when I'm trying to bring it to rest, there is going to be retardation. If the time of the entire journey, total time is given here, 300 seconds, find the acceleration and the deceleration. I have to draw the VT graph for this. Okay, VT graph means something like this. I will have time on my x-axis and velocity on my y-axis, right? So something like this, and it goes like this. So when they say a vehicle starts from rest, meaning from 0, V is increasing, no? So origin, this is O0 here. So vehicle starts from rest means it starts like this, right? So vehicle starts from rest with a uniform acceleration during the first 250 meters. Now when we are drawing this VT graph, when I say it has gone up to 250 meters, matlab, I stop here, no? It has reached some final velocity. So when I draw a line over here, this becomes S1, that is 250 meters. Distance traveled is 250 meters, or you can take it like this. S1 is 250 meters. It has traveled for a S1 of 250 meters. Okay, of its run, after which it runs the next 750 meters at uniform speed. Uniform speed matlab it is going straight. Okay, so next 750 meters matlab yahan pe it has traveled for 750 meters, which is nothing but your S2. Okay, so it has traveled for the next for 750 meters with a uniform speed, so straight line. It is then brought to rest in 30 seconds. Okay, so brought to rest matlab it is coming down. Okay, and when it is coming down, this is going to be S3, which is not given to us, but T3 is given to us, that is 60 seconds. Here there could be T1 when it starts from 0 to it reaches this distance. T1 is there, but that is not given. Then it is moving from this 250 above up to 750. There could be a T2, which is also not given to us. T3 is given to us as it is how much? 60 seconds. The total time of journey T is given, that is 300 seconds. The total time of journey is 300 seconds. Find the acceleration meaning here and the retardation matlab yahan pe the acceleration that is coming minus sign, no, that we have to find these two data. So from this, first thing I'll be writing is total distance traveled would be S1 plus S2 plus S3. S1, S2 and S3. S3 is not given to us. Okay, total distance I can call it as S. And similarly, time T is the total time. Okay, which is 300, which is the summation of T1 plus T2 plus T3, where T3 is given to us. That is now 300 equal to T1 plus T2 plus 60 in our case, because T3 is given to us. Any doubts with drawing the VT graph? Because if you don't draw this properly, you won't get the answer properly. Any doubt with this graph? Yes, no? You can type it. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So once the graph is ready, how the solution goes is the distance we know, no? S1 and S2, S3. If I want to calculate the distance traveled, that distance is going to be equal to the area of the graph. It's not visible, no? I'll change. S is the distance traveled is given by the area that falls in the graph. Meaning, say if I want to calculate S1 here in this, S1 is from here to here. Now, area of the graph means from here to here, S1, when I drop a perpendicular, this looks like a triangle now. S1 is going to be the area of triangle or triangle. Okay. What is the formula for triangle? It is half base into height, right? General. So half, my base here is nothing but the time, and height here I will be substituting as your velocity, that is attained by the vehicle V1. So area of the graph is nothing but the distance traveled. Similarly, if I want to write for S2 here in this case, S2 is from here to here. So the area is going to be a rectangle B into D. That is T2 into B is your area of this rectangle. Third, when I'm writing for S3, that is the distance traveled S3 will be equal to the area of, again S3 is forming a triangle. There are some cases where you will have a trapezoid also. In those cases, we'll be solving those. So you'll know how to go ahead with it, right? So now we will start with this basics. So I'll name A, B, C, and D, right? So first one for motion AB. I'll start for motion AB. So in this, S equal to the area we are aware of, right? S1 equal to the area. So S1 will be equal to A1, which is nothing but half, base is T1, and height is going to be V1, right? I know the value of S1, first 250 meters, no? So 250 now is equal to half times of T1 into V1, or T1 V1 becomes equal to 500. This 2 goes on top. T1 V1 is equal to 500. Is that first one? Okay, I cannot further simplify. I'll keep it like this only. Next, I'll go for motion B to C. I finished A to B. I'll go to B to C. So here, S2 is going to be equal to A2, right? Substitute S2 will be equal to area of this. This is T2 and this is going to be V1 only because it reached V1 and it is going with uniform speed V1 only. So this is V1. So I'll have T2 into V1, correct? So let us substitute. I know S2 value is given to us. Next 750 meters, matlab S2 is 750. So 750 will be equal to T2 into V1. I further cannot do anything to this also. I will keep it as it is. Call this equation 1, call this as equation 2. Next, I'll go ahead with these two. We'll stop for the next. I'll not go to the next motion. I know that T1 plus T2 plus T3 is 300 seconds, right? Or I'll use the top because I need space. I hope you all have noted down the question. If not, also I'll be circulating these notes. I'll start here. We know that T1 plus T2 plus T3 total time is equal to 300, wherein I'm aware of T1 plus T2. T3 if I send here 300 minus T3 is 60, right? That makes it how much? Oh, I took it 60, make it 50. Okay, 50. I've taken it down. So I'll have 250 seconds, right? So I'll have a condition now T1 plus T2 is 250 seconds total basis. From here also I can write for T1 or only for T2. T2 becomes what? 250 minus T1. So that I can substitute for T2 wherever required. Where I can substitute for T2, we know that S2.
Ma'am, why 50 seconds?
No, in the question, I made a mistake while giving the question. Last one, T3 is 50 only. Make a change in the question.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, T3 is 50 only. Okay, I wrote it 60 for the, when I was writing it for the first time. So we know that S2, what was our condition for S2? Go back here. S2 equal to T2 V1, from where I got a equation as 750 is T2 into V1. So we know that 750 is equal to T2 into V1. We know this from our second equation, right? Substitute here. I know the value of T2 now. So 750 will be equal to 250 minus T1 into V1. Open the brackets. क्या होगा? 750 equal to 250 V1 minus T1 V1. Right? Open this bracket. But I know that T1 V1 ka value we have again. What is T1 V1? 500. T1 V1 is 500. Put that also. 750 equal to 250 times of V1 minus 500 because T1 V1 is 500 from the first set. This 500 this 500 goes to the other side. So it becomes 750 plus 500 will be equal to 250 times of V1. From here, 750 plus 500 makes it 1250, no? So 1250 is equal to 250 times of V1, or V1 would be 1250 by 250, that is 5 meters per second. Okay, so this is how it goes. It is simple mathematics only, but you should be careful enough when and what has to be substituted. So I got the value of V1. Once I get the value of V1, look, here if I substitute, I'll get the value of T2. And here if I substitute, I'll get the value of T1. So let us do that. Therefore, we know that T2 is, not T2, we know that 750 equal to T2 into V1, right? So T2 is going to be 750 divided by 5. V1 is 5. How much is this? $150. So you get a T2 as 150 seconds. Great. Then I have one more condition. T1 V1 equal to 500. We know that T1 V1 equal to 500. So I can substitute here. T1 becomes 500 divided by 5 because V1 is 5. V1 is 5, no? Yeah. So what would be T1 value? 100.
100.
So we got all the three. That is T3 was given, T1 and T2 is found. Right? Unknowns we have to get. So T1 and T2 is found, and we got the T3 was given and total time was given. So this is done. Now we have to find the acceleration. So to find acceleration, I have time, no? Yeah, 10:18 it is. To find acceleration, B equal to U plus A T1 in the first, when the graph was like this. right? I will put that formula from here to here. This was our graph, right? So V equal to U plus T1. So velocity, I know it is 5. Initial velocity was 0 because it started from 0, plus A into T1 we have 100. Correct? From here I get the acceleration. That is going to be how much? 5 divided by 100. That makes it 0.05 meter per second square. I will apply this equation for the first motion, that is A to B, motion A to B. Okay, we get the acceleration here. Now, when I am talking of deceleration, I will be applying it from this point to this point, right? So let us apply that to find, it's not visible, to find deceleration. That is retardation, deceleration or retardation. I know it is deceleration, so A has to be substituted as minus A. So V equal to U minus A T3. Correct? So when I'm talking of deceleration here, look at the graph. It is coming from some velocity V to 0. Correct? So your V value is 0 now. And what is U value? Whatever was your uniform velocity here, V1, we found out V1, no? That is your U initial, and this becomes final. So this becomes 5 minus A into T3 was what? How much was the T3 value?
50.
50. Substitute that. Okay, because this is from the graph. Deceleration is from here to here. It started with the initial velocity 0 and it reached a velocity of V1, that is 5. Then it moved with 5 meters per second. Here it was 5 meters per second only. And then it was brought to rest to 0. So when I'm talking of motion C to D, their initial velocity is 5 and final velocity is 0. That is what has been stated over here. Initial velocity is 5, final velocity is 0. T3 we have found 50. From here, what is the value of A? 50, 5 by 50. That is 0.1 meter per second square. So deceleration value is 0.1 meter per second square. If I don't use this minus sign and I use this plus sign, I will get here minus, indicating it is deceleration. But because I knew it is deceleration, I substituted only with the minus sign. So it's okay if I get it as minus 1, sorry, plus 1 meter, 0.1 meter per second square. Once this is done, then I have to find the distances. S equal to S1 plus S2 plus S3. Correct? So I know the value of S1 and S2. I don't know the value of S3. So to get S3 is coming from where? From the graph, right? So the S3 will be equal to the area. That is half base is T3. Height is how much? V1. This graph. S3 is half base into height. Height is 5 only, V1. And this is T3. I know all the values here. Half. T3 value is 50. V value is 5. How much is this? 75? No. $125. Correct? I used for motion C to D equation, that is area will be, distance traveled will be given by the area. So from there I got the S3 value because I knew the S1. Therefore, total distance S will be equal to S1 plus S2 plus S3. So I have all the three. First it was 250. Next it went for 750. Last it went for 125. We found 125. What is this, Baba? S value? This only is 1000. 125 meters. This ends the numerical. It comes for 10 plus marks. Any doubt with this? If you're making notes parallel to the class, it might be difficult for some of you because listening and writing and calculating. If you're like quickly able to do it, I suggest to do it. Or else you can just simply sit with a scribbling pad and your calculator and a pen. Whenever whatever is required, you calculate. Afterwards, you can. This will be circulated on the JCE Connect YouTube site also, right? So that time you can make notes, and I will be circulating these numericals photos also for you to study. I will be circulating these numericals, called numericals, along with their solutions. So need not worry much, right? Any doubt? So this is your VT graph, and we have to do 3-4 numericals on this. So tomorrow is Thursday. Thursday I will take another 2-3 numericals related to this. Okay. All of you give your attendance, and you can quit the meeting. Ashwini, Pradeep, Prathamesh, Vaishnavi, and Viju, have you given your attendance?